Hello, you guys. Welcome to another video. I hope you're all doing so well. I'm doing okay. I wanted to make this video for anyone who is feeling stuck in their manifestations and if they need like some guidance or just like a fresh new perspective. Um, so I decided to make a list of free manifestation tips that I wish I knew when I was a beginner. Tip number one is manifestation is a skill, meaning that you can learn it and you can get better at it. I was listening to a podcast with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he said something that really resonated with me. He said, if you can't manifest something, you're just not that good at it. And I was like, oh my God, like he's so right. And it just made me think of manifestation as a skill that I can practice and that I can get better at over time. So that made me realize that manifestation is a skill, just like cooking, just like learning a language, just like learning how to draw. If you practice manifestation, you will get better at it. So that to me demystified the experience completely. And it really helped me kind of see manifestation as something that is fun, something that I can practice, and something that I can get better at. And certainly in 2026, I have gotten so much better at manifestation just by trying out different things and kind of like reviewing what works for me. That's the other thing. One method might work for you and it doesn't work for someone else, and vice versa. So try out the different methods, have fun with it, practice manifestation, and just treat it like a skill that you are building, and you will see that you get better and better at it. So, yeah, that's my number one tip. The second tip that I have for you guys is the holographic universe model and how to really understand it in real life terms. So basically, there is a science to manifesting, and the way that I understand it is pretty simple. So I'm going to try and explain it as clearly as possible. So you've got your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. We also have a collective subconscious mind, but let's not get into that. Let's just focus on the mind, on the subconscious and conscious that we have some control over. So it's very easy to get into like a negative thought loop. So that's very important, is to watch what you are thinking. But more importantly, it's the core beliefs that you have stored in your subconscious mind. So basically, your life reflects what you believe, which can create a slightly vicious cycle. You know, if you are constantly in a low mood and thinking negative thoughts, and then your life is, as a result, negative, and then you see that negativity reflected back to you, and so then you feel even more upset, and then worse things happen, and it just becomes like this looping thing. So, you know, reality is kind of like a mirror, unfortunately, and that's a hard pill to swallow, but it does mean that you can flip it. And quite often, it's not even the conscious mind that is involved, because you might be thinking in your manifestation practice, I wish that I found the perfect partner. I wish that I had a beautiful mansion. I wish that I could go on holiday to God knows where, your choice. And, you know, and you have all these wishes in your head, and you're like, well, I'm doing everything right. I'm scripting, I'm visualizing, I don't know, playing Randonautica like I do, or whatever it is that you're doing to get your manifestation, and yet it's not happening. That's because, as engaged as your conscious mind is, what's happening is your subconscious mind is rejecting those ideas. So, what you have to do is you have to work with your subconscious mind, and you have to work through any kind of resistance that is in there. And it really takes a lot of like self exploration and courage to really connect with the subconscious fears that you have and the blocks and whatever may be stopping you from achieving your full potential, because the reality that is reflected back to you is the reality that your subconscious mind projects. So, the best way to kind of hack your subconscious mind is through meditation, and also through those states akin to sleep, which I think are most active just before you fall asleep and just after you wake up. The brain is kind of like a sponge in those moments, and if you can kind of remember to think positive thoughts in that half hour just before you fall asleep and the half hour just after you wake up, you will bring tremendous changes to your subconscious mind. If you can, if you have the willpower to actively monitor what's going on inside here, because remember, your thoughts are not your own. Sometimes you will get a thought come in, evaluate it, lawyer up to that thought. You know, if like you get this thought that says, oh, I'm not good enough to get this, or like whatever, like it might be like an opportunity that you want and you're thinking, I'm not good enough for this. Who's saying that? Where's that even coming from? Of course you are good enough. This thought just like lives rent free in your head without ever being questioned, and it just dips into your subconscious mind and feeds like this negative cycle. So it's a pretty hard game, like the whole like mind hacking thing. But essentially, if you want to change your reality, you have to change your thoughts. And this is kind of like the gold mine when it comes to manifestation, you know, to really get to know yourself, to really watch what you're thinking, and to get deeper into your subconscious mind and see what's not really lining up with your ideal vision of life and try and change that. And then you will see that everything's changing actually. And everything around you can change so fast for the better. Yeah, the subconscious mind is really like running everything. And we do live in a holographic universe, so everything that that subconscious mind is kind of projecting out there, unfortunately or fortunately, will happen. So, you know, just make sure that whatever you are feeding your subconscious mind is good. Number three, I think out of all the amazing manifestation practices that are out there, there is nothing more powerful than focused meditation. And the way to do it, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's fact, it's just something that I think is true. Um, so I believe that the vast majority of your thoughts, or my thoughts, you know, human thoughts, is concentrated somewhere here in the crown chakra and in the third eye chakra. Like, this is where I think the vast majority of consciousness and subconscious kind of resides. But if you can take your consciousness and drop it to your heart chakra level, so take it from that space where it usually sits, which is the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. If you can just drop that to your heart chakra, and if you can just relax into that state where you are thinking from your heart, if you can visualize what you really want from your heart, and you can hold that state and you can believe in it, it will appear in your reality faster than expected. And this is something that I've been practicing for a while with very, very good results. And once you are done with your heart chakra manifestation practice, you just release it, you just say, it is done. And trust me, it will be done. So, those are my 3 tips for anyone who's just starting out with manifestation. These are the 3 things I wish I knew when I was a beginner. I hope this helped you somehow, and happy manifesting. Bye.